of the season because of an NCAA suspension. Got caught up in that shoe mess in Madison. 1 of 2, but a rebound for Kowski, and the Badgers get the basketball. Slapped away by Schilling to the floor, tied up, a wrestling match. And the arrow pointing Wisconsin's way this time. No, they're calling a traveling call, I believe, or a foul, a double foul.
But you have to love the effort.
No, it's a timeout. A timeout called by the Badgers in the middle of the scrum.
James Schilling with the slap away. The ball goes to the floor, and you love to see these young players go down and hustle and scrap for that loose ball.
Well, the Badgers, Vershaw calling a timeout, trying to bring his hands together to call it. I'm not sure he ever got them together, but somewhere in there, the official said he called for a timeout.
It is January, and Big Ten basketball is here.
Halfway through the second half, 36-30 Minnesota. And if you'd like to be a part of Goldie's gang, that's the phone number to call. Cool way for Gopher fans, the younger set, to become involved with the Gophers. A lot of perks, so call the number and join. Vershaw with Wildenberg guarding him. Now a double team and the ball thrown away.
Great pressure by the Gophers to force that turnover. The Badgers are trying to run their cuts, but the Gophers are showing great physical presence on the defensive end, knocking the Badgers off of their course and not allowing them to run their offense.
Both teams typically, through the first couple months of the year, did a nice job protecting the basketball. 12-11 the turnover totals. Fowler off the bench for Reichert for Minnesota. Schilling and Kelley each hit the floor. Burleson knifes his way in. Help defense by Linton. Wildenberg with the putback, and he'll go to the line.
Good job by Wildenberg. Burleson on the penetration. Wildenberg's man left to go to help out on the penetrator, and then freed up the big fella to get to the glass offensively.
Maurice Linton will come over and help, and that opened up Wildenberg.
Anytime your man leads to go and help out on penetration, go right to the front of the rim and look for the offensive rebound.
2 shots.
Wildenberg will get 2 free throws. He's 0 for 1. The Gophers are 1 for 6.
Free throw shooting is very, very critical in a close basketball game because you have to have the confidence once you walk to the line to believe in yourself that you can knock them down.
Ryan Wildenberg playing maybe his best game as a Gopher. 6 rebounds. 1 of 3 from the line. 5 points. Getting a lot of floor time here, giving the Gophers some size inside. Oh, a turnover at midcourt by Kelley. A guy who's done such a good job in his 4 years at Wisconsin, turning it over just roughly once a game, and an unforced error at midcourt.
See, the Gophers are making it very uncomfortable for the Wisconsin Badgers to run their offense, and that's a good sign for the coaching staff from Minnesota to see.
Burleson needs some help. Finds Wildenberg. Burleson nearly dribbled into Bauer. Puts up a 3. Long rebound. Wildenberg comes up with it again. His 7th rebound.
And you're talking about his increased playing time when you hustle and you scrap and you get to the glass offensively, and if you get to loose balls on the floor, you can stay on the floor to get your offensive game together.
Wildenberg getting hugged by at least 3 teammates during this break.
Here's a missed shot by Burleson, but the ball goes on the floor. It's the guy with the most determination to go for that loose ball. And the last 3 or 4 possessions for the Gophers on the offensive end, Wildenberg has been the man for them.
Kelley's foul, the 10th foul on Wisconsin. So as poorly as Minnesota is shooting free throw, and Schilling misses another one, At least they don't have any more one-on-one situations to shoot through. Schilling's missed all 3, and now finally hits his first free throw, his 10th point of the game. Minnesota has an 8-point lead.
When your offense is not clicking, you must become a good defensive team to make sure that your opponent cannot score. If you can shut them down offensively, you can stay in the game long enough to make your offensive game come to life at the end.
Full timeout called by Brad Soderberg. 38-30, Minnesota in front. They led in the first half a couple of times by 9 points. And now Brad Soderberg is hoping that there's one more comeback left in this Badger team, similar to the one they showed late against the Hoosiers on Thursday.
He knows this team is very poised and very good. They know they won't panic. They know they have one more run if they stay with their game plan. But the Gophers must continue to do what they're doing. Strong defense on the defensive end. Continue to work your offense. Search for the good shot. And when the shot goes up on the glass, tell your big guy to get into position where they can offensive rebound to help give you some second and third chances.
Brad Soderberg came up with an interesting quote a few days ago. He said, a coach's season doesn't begin until his team loses. Now, he has not experienced defeat. The only Badger loss came while Dick Bennett was still coaching the team. And he knows he's off on a very tough stretch for the Big Ten schedule. This is the first of 3 straight conference games for Wisconsin on the road.
Well, he knows and understands that how tough it is to win on the road in the Big Ten. And what he meant by that, when my team loses, how can I get myself back into position to get them back on track so that we can get ourselves together for the Big Ten Conference?
See if we can answer our trivia question. I'm just going to take a shot at it and name the last Badger to be named first team All Big Ten. You mentioned his name, I think, before.
Wes Matthews?
Wes Matthews? Michael Finley. Oh. Should have known that one.
Yeah.
He's a fine player. Kind of like a Trent Tucker type player. He put it up from the outside.
He was a better jumper, though.
Yeah. He got to play with the three-point rule. You didn't get a chance to play with that until you turned pro.
I think his slam dunks are just a little bit better than mine.
But here come the Badgers down by 8 with 8:25 left. Vershawn Wildenberg shoving away from the ball. Linton. Step in the lane. Shot comes out. Schilling with the rebound for Minnesota.
The Gophers must rebound by committee. All 5 guys must get back into the paint. You must block out your man now, and you must be the aggressor to go to that rebound.
Minnesota's going to go to a smaller lineup here at the next break. Underneath.
You can see right now that the Gophers have gained control of this basketball game. Now they must have the strong will to finish it off.
Minnesota's lead, its largest of the night. Vershawn and Wildenberg finally get called. Somebody was going to get a foul, and it's Wildenberg picking up his 3rd.
But you can live with that foul on the big fella because he's working so hard to get his man off of the block, trying to deny him the position on the offensive end where he can go to work.
Interesting that a couple of players come in. 2 guards come in. 2 guards leave. Wildenberg stays on the floor for picking up his 3rd foul.
Because Wisconsin is big up top. They're strong. So the Gophers need that big body on the inside to offset the strong inside presence of the Badgers.
Vershaw misses a one-on-one opportunity. Rebounded by Bickerstaff. Backdoor Simmons. Troubled his feet.
Yes, he did.
Simmons doesn't believe it. Dan Munson saying, yeah, you did. We saw it from here. A turnover by the Gophers. A 10-point lead for the Gophers.
Don't miss your chance to earn a great wage. Roundy's, one of the nation's premier grocery wholesale companies, is currently hiring warehouse order selectors for day and night shifts. You can earn $12 to $14 per hour. Plus, work harder, get more. You could make an additional $3.50 per hour attaining program incentive goals. Roundy's needs you. Interested? Apply at Personnel Evaluation, 11138 West Greenfield Avenue, Milwaukee. Roundy's is an equal opportunity employer and a member of the Drug-Free Workplace Network.
Zesty. 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 Zesty.
Want zesty? Try the new Zesty Fiesta Burrito only at Taco Bell. Rice, seasoned beef, topped with a zesty Southwestern sauce, Fiesta salsa, and cheddar cheese. The new Zesty Fiesta Burrito, now just 99 cents.
Puppy dogs and hummingbirds.
Not zesty.
Minnesota with its largest lead, 10 points. Just a coincidence, we're told, that on the eve of Wisconsin coming to town, Matt Anderle is pulled off the football team to join the basketball team. Look at that size, 6'6", 271 pounds. Defensive tackle on the Gopher football team out of Mounds View. Probably won't get a chance to play tonight.
He's around just in case if things get physical.
Linton going up, passing off to Vershaw. Vershaw drawing a foul on Bauer, and now Bauer picking up his third.
Nice penetration by Linton and the drop off on the inside. But this is where your defense has got to tighten up even more. You have got to shut down penetration. For the next 7 minutes and 10 seconds of this basketball game, the Gopher defenders must step up, take away the driving angles, and force Wisconsin to become a jump shooting team.
Vershaw missed a one-on-one opportunity a moment ago. Here, 2 free throws, the first one made. Brad Soderberg's team and Dick Bennett's before him went through the entire non-conference part of the schedule, out-rebounding its opponent in every game. They were out-rebounded Thursday against Indiana, and so far tonight, the Gophers have a slight rebounding edge. 5 points for Vershaw. Off the fingertips of Bickerstaff, out of bounds to Wisconsin.
There's another pass on the same plane. When the defense gets into the passing lane, you cannot stay on the same plane. You have got to improve your angle so you can make the pass easier to the guy on the block.
And who got a fingertip on the pass to tip it off of Bickerstaff's fingers? Mike Kelley. Wildenberg out. Reichert in for Minnesota. He'll guard a taller player in Vershaw. Linton from the outside. Rebound tip finally controlled by Fleming.
If the Gophers can keep Wisconsin to taking jump shots, they should win this game down the stretch.
Both teams have done so well in close ball games this year. Now a foul called away from the ball, I believe, on Linton. It'll be free throws for Minnesota. The foul instead on Kelley. I beg your pardon, Kurt Penny.
Every time down offensively for the Gophers, they should look to go to the basket. Any body contact will get them to the free throw line. And let this game become a free throw shooting contest. But hey, if you can't make them, you may not want to go there.
Minnesota did not get to the line in the first half. They are 3 from 11, 3 for 11 from the line in the second half. 1 of 2 for Bickerstaff, 5 points in the game, and a 9-point Minnesota lead. Bickerstaff motioning for the student body section to make some noise. Penny's baseline drive cut off by Simmons. Kelley open for a 3. In and out, rebounded by Bickerstaff.
The jump shooting is not the strong suit of the Wisconsin Badgers, and the Gophers need to drop their defense below the free throw line and force Wisconsin to continue to shoot the basketball from downtown.
Simmons thought about the 3. Fleming feeds Simmons. Hangs in the air, comes off to Vershaw. Minnesota with a 9-point lead and 5.5 minutes to play. Help defense by Bauer to turn away the baseline drive. Feed to Vershaw. Reichert picks up a foul, sending Vershaw to the line.
You know, Dick, wouldn't be a bad move to bring the big fella in. Wildenberg, who played so well in the second half for the Gophers down low. His presence on the inside kept the Badgers' bigger players away from the basket.
I don't think Brad Soderberg would be too proud of his team's free throw shooting either, but certainly better than Minnesota's, and now Vershaw's made 3 in a row after missing a 1-on-1 earlier in the half. Bennett, Burleson, and Schilling in for Minnesota, replacing Fleming, Simmons, and Bickerstaff.
Replacing Simmons, Fleming, and Bickerstaff.
We all talk about how critical free throw shooting is. The Big Ten plays when the games are low scoring. Down the stretch, free throw shooting will be the margin of victory.
4 straight from the line for Vershaw. 7 points in the game and a 7-point Minnesota lead. Reichert had it tipped away by Vershaw as he was going up for a shot. Bauer faked his man, put up the three and hit. Michael Bauer with 11 points.
Good ball fake by Bauer to get his defender airborne, and then one step to his left to create space for the jump shot.
Back to a 10-point lead, less than 5 minutes to play. Kelley drawing a foul on the baseline.
When you have a guy pinned on the baseline underneath the backboard, there's no need to leave your feet. Make him make a shot in a very, very tough situation. Don't bail him out by putting him on the free throw line. Nice ball fake by Bauer to get himself free of his defender, and then the beautiful stroke to finish off the shot.
At the other end, Bauer picked up his 4th foul, so now Kelley will go to the line. The 10th Minnesota foul, so both teams into the double bonus situation. Kelley's first second half point. Wildenberg back in for Bauer. Boone out, Trevon Davis in.
Wildenberg has played a terrific game tonight.
Kelley out of that deep crouch. Missing. Wildenberg with the rebound. Conversion here by Minnesota would be huge. Schilling fakes the 3, takes the 2, banks it in.
Somehow, some way, he got the ball to go off the glass under heavy, heavy pressure from Wisconsin's defense.
A dozen for Schilling and an 11-point Minnesota lead. Just over 4 minutes to play. Around Wildenberg, Vershaw will go to the line. Wildenberg picking up foul number 4.
And one thing you cannot allow a post player to do when the double team is coming from the middle is turn to the baseline and get to the baseline, because if he gets there, he has room to operate. Cut off the baseline, turn him back into the help defense, make it tough for him to find open players or make a play.
Vershaw had made 4 straight, now a miss. One of 2. Minnesota with 30 rebounds, Wisconsin with 25. And of the 30, Ryan Wildenberg has 8 of them.
Now the Gophers must work the shot clock.
Reichert with a quick shot, and it comes off to Trevon Davis.
The shot came too quick. There's no need to rush your offense now. Work the shot clock into your favor.
Davis finally turned away by Wildenberg. Vershaw nearly turned it over. Back to Davis. Back to the perimeter. To a wide open Penny. Linton rebounds. 3.5 minutes to play, and the Badgers will reset. Davis knocks his way in. This is Kelley. He's short. Rebounded by Wildenberg. His 9th rebound of the game.
Great job by the big fella. If this game goes in the way of the Gophers, Wildenberg has been the MVP.
They are roaring at Williams Arena. Ryan Wildenberg, a 6'11 sophomore from Kirkland, Washington, playing his best as a Gopher.
If he continues to play this way, there will be many, many more minutes for him on the court.
Not much of a factor at all in non-conference play, but now that the Big Ten has started, they'll need his size and his rebounding for the balance of the Big Ten season. Fittingly, he makes one and misses one.
When you're that big, if you will be aggressive and just use your body, you can carve out space and you can make things happen for yourself.
Up by 11, just over 3 to play. Boom, spins into Bickerstaff and turns it over.
Just great one-on-one defense by J.B. Bickerstaff, moving his feet very well, keeping his body in front to force the violation.
That's Maggie, my sister. She loved winter. Snow castles, snowmen, snow fights, and snow angels. But last winter, someone drove too fast. And my sister, she became a real angel. Please remember, snow equals flow. Please remember my sister.
I'm Carrie McKenzie from Wisconsin Wireless at our new location at 68th and North in Wauwatosa. We offer one-stop shopping featuring the latest from Verizon, Nextel, Sprint, and U.S. Cellular. Wisconsin Wireless, the experts in wireless communications since 1992.
From the funny moment to the crazy moment. She's that kind of girl, she's funky. All right here in the Diary of Me.
Her name is Brandy. Her show is Moesha. Her message?
Follow your own star.
Weekdays at 5 on Channel 24.
As you look at the Jeep summary, the thought comes to mind, if you're anybody playing Wisconsin and you hear so much about their defense, the one thing you want to prove when you play against them is that you too can play defense. Sure. And the Gophers have done that.
Because they love to execute their offense. They won't shoot quick. They look for the good shot. They will make 4, 5, 6 passes to search out the good opportunity. But the Gophers have shown stability in their defense in the half court to stay down, to stay still, and force Wisconsin to play out of rhythm.
Not a quick strike offense for the Badgers by any means. An 11-point deficit, less than 3 to play. It's going to be tough for them if the Gophers play smart basketball. Bickerstaff beats Wildenberg. Reichert fouls and scores.
Reichert in the right place at the right time off the errant shot to give Minnesota a 13-point lead.
One of the things Dan Munson said, I'm sure, during the timeout, no fouls, and somebody guard the three-point shooters.
You cannot leave the guy with the basketball by himself.
16 for Linton and a full-court press put on by the Badgers. Schilling, not the most adept ball handler. He'll be asked to bring it across, and Kelley steals it away from him and lays it in.
Talked about the great defense of Kelley. The quick hands to level off Schilling, and then the reach around for the steal, and then the quick burst to the other end for the lay-in.
Probably the worst possible matchup for the Gophers. Kelley with his quick hands and his great positioning on defense against Schilling, who struggles at times dribbling the ball off the floor.
And here's Linton shooting downtown from the three-point line, and then Kelley doing a great job to level off Shane Schilling. You don't want to get too close to the sideline, because if you get too close to the sideline, you don't have any room to operate. Now the defense can take over. You have got to keep the basketball in the middle of the floor so you can have some room to run your offense.
So Minnesota now with a lead of 8. It was 13 just a few moments ago. Burleson foul on the inbound by Davis. And Minnesota, team that has struggled mightily from the line, just 5 of 14, will have to prove itself in the final 2 minutes or so to win this game from the line.
And free throw shooting will win this game for the Gophers if they can make them, because Wisconsin will be gambling, trying to steal the basketball. So any sign of body contact, you will work yourself to the free throw line, but you must take care of the basketball and you must come and meet every pass.
And as much as they've struggled, you see Boone coming in for Freddie Owens, who was in briefly. As much as they've struggled tonight, this is the point of the game where Minnesota has excelled from the line. Minnesota 1 of 2 for Burleson. Minnesota's done very well in the final minutes of close games from the line. Burleson coming into that stretch 5 of 5 at crunch time. Kelley working on Schilling. Short foul with the rebound. And a foul called on Shane Schilling. As he was working up the floor, he bowled over Kelley. A costly foul on Schilling. Kelley will go to the line for 2. Minnesota had the basketball.
Schilling does a great job of one-on-one defense to force a tough shot by Kelley. But keep your emotions. You know, don't give the officials any opportunities to make a call.
I'm not sure he had much more than incidental contact there. A huge call for the Badgers. And instead of Minnesota getting the basketball with 1:45 left, Kelley can trim the lead down with the clock stopped.
It was a tough call for the Gophers, but they got to shake it off. Make sure if this rebound is missed off this shot, they must get it. Now they must get the ball in bounds safely so they can run the offense.
Kelley hits them both. Burleson, Reichert, Bickerstaff, Schilling, and Bauer against Davis, Vershaw, Linton. Burleson calling a timeout. Kelley and Owens, who was on the floor. And Dan Munson calls a timeout.
It's a good timeout by Dan Munson, Dick, to make sure that everyone is on the same page, telling his players exactly what he wants for them to do so they won't make a crucial mistake to allow Wisconsin to creep back into this game.
Minnesota with a midweek bye this next week. They'll probably need it to recover from this Badger game.
Yes, indeed.
But if you'd like to be here for their next home game, the Boilermakers come to town. 1-800-U-GOPHER, the phone number to call. Minnesota playing next Saturday in Columbus against the Buckeyes. Trying to pin down its first Big Ten win here against Brad Soderberg, who's never tasted defeat as a Division I coach. Coached in Division II and Division III, as we mentioned before, but taking over on an interim basis for Dick Bennett, who retired. Reichert nearly turned the ball over as Vershaw slapped it away from him. Bickerstaff with Owens guarding him tough. And a foul called on Owens, and the fifth-year senior Bickerstaff will try to show some leadership and nail a couple of free throws.
Very good patience by the Gophers on the offensive end against the strong, tenacious defense on the boys from Wisconsin. There's no need to rush your offense, no need to take a quick shot. If a good shot presents itself, rise up and look to shoot, but take your time and search for the good one first.
In close games, crunch time is defined as being in the final 3 minutes of regulation or in overtime. Bickerstaff excelling at free throw shooting during that time. Now 8 of 9, 9 of 10.
And also his defense has been stellar on the other end of the court.
Up by 9, 1:15 left. The Badgers are going to have to mount a furious comeback here. Bickerstaff guarding Boone. Davis open for a 3 over Bauer. Wide left, Linton with the foul. And Bickerstaff is called for the foul, and the Badgers have a chance for a three-point play.
This is where you have to become very, very fundamental. When the ball goes up on the glass, you have got to check your man up, block him out first, and then go for the rebound. Don't make this a jumping contest, because the guys on the inside, as they are bigger and stronger, they will work themselves free to get offensive rebounds. But if a guy gets on the inside, and if you're going to foul him hard to make sure that he cannot get the ball up on the glass.
Now, Bickerstaff may never have touched Linton, but it looked like a foul.
If you're going to foul him, make sure you foul him hard.
Now a turnover in the corner. And Minnesota's lead down to 6. Precarious with the Gophers turning it over on the inbound.
Wisconsin will test your will right to the end, and Minnesota must withstand this challenge. They have got to stay mentally focused for the last 61 seconds if they want to walk away with their first win of the conference season.
Penny in, Davis out. Bickerstaff has to guard Penny, very good three-point shooter. The guy who spearheaded the win over Indiana. A three made from the corner by Roy Boone, who got the game winner last year here at Williams Arena at the buzzer. And he comes up with a huge three here to cut it to 3.
When a team is trying to get back into the game, the one shot you don't want to give up is a wide open three-point shot. When penetration is there, you stay home on the shooter. The Gophers got tangled in their defense. They lost communication. Wisconsin steps behind the line, knocks down a critical three-point shot to bring their deficit down to 3 points.
Back-to-back three-point possessions for the Badgers. Boone last year hit a jumper with less than a second left. And the Badgers beat the Gophers here at Williams 66-64.
And Wisconsin will look for Boone on the offensive end because he is their leading scorer.
Ravon Davis, like Kelley, Boone, Vershaw, and Linton, the 5 out there for the Badgers. A furious comeback for Wisconsin. Burleson, Reichert, Bickerstaff, Schilling, and Bauer out there for Minnesota. Davis falls down. Burleson not anxious to shoot. Instead, will take time off the clock.
We'll say crunch time is here.
Badgers not inclined to foul, and now Minnesota calling a timeout. 29 seconds left in regulation. 11 seconds left in the shot clock.
Good job by Dan Munson to call their timeout. 11 seconds on the shot clock. He's going to make sure that his players understand exactly what he wants them to do.
Mentioned that the Gophers have a midweek bye this week. Next week, it's our next Gopher basketball telecast on MSC. 7 o'clock. Gene Patey and the Purdue Boilermakers come to town. You know, Dick Bennett, I'm sure, is watching this game. And one thing I'll bet he's found out already, as intense as it is to coach in these games, and almost as harder to watch them.
Yes, it is. I mean, because when you're sitting at home watching the game on your couch, you can't do anything about the situation. You can't control the moment. And for so many years throughout his wonderful career at Wisconsin, he was always the man in the middle of the action.
And in Brad Soderberg's very young Division I coaching career, if he can pull a win out in this game, it will be the biggest win of his Division I coaching career, because it looked like the Badgers were buried. The Gophers up by 13 late in the game. They're still down by 3 with 29 seconds left, and Minnesota clearly is going to try to take very good care of the basketball here, sending their best free throw shooters out there in the event Wisconsin fouls and sends the Gophers to the line.
You know, Dick, when you have great leadership, they understand 40 minutes of basketball, that's when the game is done. Not 35, not 36 minutes. If we have time left on the clock, we believe that we still have a chance to make a difference at the end.
It'll be inbounded by Reichert. 10 seconds for Minnesota to shoot. Bickerstaff will do a lot of the ball handling here. Spinning away. Off the glass. No good, but a foul. J.B. Bickerstaff, in the close wins by Minnesota, has gotten so many big baskets. Now coming up a couple of big free throws.
It's nice to have a player who can create off the dribble with the shot clock running down. Bickerstaff goes up with the right hand, but the defense is right there. And then he was able to improvise to put the ball into his left hand to get the shot away to pick up the foul.
He needs 1 of 2, and he just got the first one. So now it's a 2-possession lead. Bickerstaff has hit 4 straight from the line. Straight from the line, and it's a 5-point Minnesota lead.
So Bickerstaff may be the Gophers' best athlete, and he demonstrated on that last sequence when he went one-on-one with the shot clock running down. He was able to use his talent to make something happen for the good of his team.
Coming off his worst game as a Gopher in a big game. There may have been individual games where Bickerstaff didn't play well prior to the game against Illinois, but Big Ten opener, you want to bring your best game to the floor, and it was a very frustrating night for Bickerstaff. And I think his play symbolizes the basketball cliche, let the game come to you. Bickerstaff really hasn't been that much of a factor in the first 38 minutes of the game, but in the final two now, 4 big free throws that have helped keep Minnesota in front.
When the games are so competitive, your best players must play well for 40 minutes, and B.J. Bickerstaff has played very well for the Gophers tonight.
Every second precious for the Badgers. Boone over to Linton. Over Bickerstaff, rebounded by Fowler, and it rolls out of bounds. 2.5 seconds left. The Badgers will get it back.
When we talk about speed and quickness, not only on the offensive end does it work, but it helps you on the defensive end. If you can move your feet and keep your body in front, you can force your opponent to take a tough shot under heavy, heavy duress.
They're standing all around Williams Arena anticipating a Gopher win. Kershaw misses. Game over. 54-49 Minnesota.
It was a great team effort on both ends of the court for the Gophers. And when things got tough for Minnesota, they had a will to stand tall to win their first game of the Big Ten season.
2 losses on the year, and in each case, the Gophers have rebounded with a win. This the most impressive one in the home opener in the Big Ten.
I mean, they were tough down the stretch. Their defense was stellar, but they had excellent half-court execution, and their big-time players made big-time plays at the end of the game.
We knew the game wouldn't get into the 70s. We thought it might get into the 60s. Turns out only one team was able to take it into the 50s.
But Wildenberg was a real key for the Gophers tonight. His strong inside play, just being very aggressive around the basket, giving his team some second and third chances, and that helped their cause tremendously.
Minnesota spreading the offense around. A couple of Minnesota natives there embracing. Terrence Simmons playing with a less than 100% hamstring, but Ryan Wildenberg emerging tonight with the type of play the Gophers had hoped he would be able to give them through the Big Ten Conference. Physical, a force on the boards, and he got more extended playing time because he rebounded so well. He's our ING Reliance star of the game. 9 rebounds, and the Gophers, as it turned out, needed every last one of them. Minnesota wins by 5. We'll come back to Williams Arena in just a moment.
Home theater.
Surround sound.
5-channel digital audio.
The total movie-going experience right in your own home.
Difficult to do? No. Expensive? No.
Fun to have? Without a doubt.
And American brings home theater home to you better than anyone with dozens of complete surround sound systems on display to choose from.
Top brands like Sony, Pioneer, Yamaha, Polk Audio, Klipsch, Bose, Kenwood, Denon.
And now many include no money down, no interest till 2003. That's right, 2003.
At American.
Art Expo 2001 is this Sunday. Choose from thousands of beautiful original oils on canvas. Giant sofa-sized paintings sold elsewhere for hundreds of dollars, as low as $19. Smaller paintings from $7. Absolutely nothing over $49. It's an Art Expo and sale this Sunday, 11 to 4.
In Brookfield at the Sheraton. In Racine at the Marriott. And in Menominee Falls at the Travelodge. This Sunday only, 11 to 4.
The Badgers had a lead right before and right after halftime. Turned out it was the only time of the game that they had a lead. Minnesota did lead most of the way in this ball game by 9 a couple of times in the first half, as much as a 13-point lead in the second half. Yet it was typical of Wisconsin basketball. 40 hard minutes of basketball. The Gophers left the door open a little bit in the final couple of minutes, and the Badgers nearly jumped back into the game and won it.
You know, Dick, Wisconsin would test your will right down to the end. But the Gophers were strong. They were stellar. They had a will, and they found a way. Their best players stepped up big time and made some critical plays at the end of the game. but Wildenberg was the MVP. I mean, his hustle, his determination on the inside was the difference.
Weren't too many inside points for Minnesota, but one was set up very nicely by Kevin Burleson with an entry pass. Michael Bauer catching and releasing at the same time, giving Minnesota an awfully big bucket and our Abra assist of the game.
Well, great execution can break down tough defense. As you see here, the Gophers move the ball very well from strong side to weak side, and then a backdoor cut, one pass, one shot, almost like a one-timer in hockey, and it worked well for the Gophers.
And Kevin Burleson giving the Gophers some pretty big minutes in the first and second half. This was a good win for Minnesota because they desperately needed to win here. Another tough road game coming up in their next Big Ten game in Columbus against the Buckeyes. And for the Badgers now, finally, Brad Soderberg will have to deal with a loss. They won their first 8 games for him, and a 10-game winning streak comes to a close here tonight for the Wisconsin Badgers. A great game by both teams and a tough battle won here by Minnesota by 5 points. The Gophers have their midweek bye coming up this week, and then play next in Columbus on Saturday. Their next home game coming up here a week and a half from now, a week from Wednesday, against the Purdue Boilermakers, and that will be our next MSC telecast for the Gophers as well. Gene Cady, kind of a dinosaur. I don't mean that in any way disrespecting him, but this is a young man's league now, and Gene Cady will bring his Boilermakers in here for a game at 7 o'clock. It will be the second Gopher home game of the Big Ten season, and that'll be our next MSC telecast.